Hey folks, what's going on? Week 7. Sorry about no week 6 webcast. Actually, we had a recruit coming in to Adelphi, very high profile. I spent my whole week on it because I was kind of like heading it. We ended up not getting him. The money wasn't there, but it wasn't without effort. So I missed week 6. I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys were all dying. Not that I didn't have it. So week 7 is upon us. Goldie stats are starting to really sink in. We're going to have the stats are starting to settle. You're starting to get a feel for now. You're absolutely starting to get a feel because week 7. So week 6, you're starting to get a feel for what your team is going to do for the rest of the year and where you need to address your strengths and weaknesses. I think one big surprise is Daniel Sedin has 7 goals or 6 goals, and he's got like 20 assists or something like that. So that's pretty surprising to me. Normally Sedin's a scorer. Kessler's off to a slow start. We'll talk about that more as I tell you about a cool trade that almost happened. It would have been ridiculous. So as you guys may or may not know, there's one player who scored 66 points in 41 games. He had 32 goals in 41 games. That is as many goals as Ovechkin had in a full season. He's been practicing for a month. So, who is that player? He's been practicing. He's got 66 points in 41 games, right? Out with a concussion. Oh, the best player in the league is back. Sidney Crosby. So, look at my stats. All right, so let's just say Crosby probably would have had at this point 10 goals, probably 20 assists in 20 games played. That's pretty fair, right? Maybe 10 goals, 15 assists. That's 25 points in 20 games. I absolutely think so. A lot of power play points, a lot of plus minus. Pretty much what that spells out for the rest of you guys, if he stays healthy, is trouble, 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 trouble. Because pretty much I'm upgrading Luke Adam over Sidney Crosby right now. Sidney Crosby over Luke Adam. So when I heard, actually, I get these messages from Score Center on my app, and it said, normally I get Sidney Crosby will not return. I had to read it like 5 times to make sure he was returning. So just a little something, because I waited long enough. We'll see if it pays off.
Every day I'm shuffling.
All right, and that's my Crosby celebration. Waited long enough. It took me 20 games. It took me 6 weeks. I wasted my 4th overall pick on him. Not wasted, used. My game plan with this was to pick up. I'm normally a decent waiver guy. I do a good job picking up waiver picks. I try to read up on them a lot, and my plan with Crosby was hopefully he's out for 10 games, and I just plug in a forward for a little bit. But he ended up being out 20, so I was rotating Adam, Filppula, Hejduk, who actually has been doing well. He's getting a lot of goals. So it worked out all right. I'd say maybe I lost. I'd say maybe at that last slot I got like 6 or 7 points in 20 games. So that's not terrible. So Crosby's impact is only, I waited 20 games. It's like all figures and numbers. I think you guys get what I'm saying. For at least I got to put another forward in while Crosby was hurt, as opposed to Malkin, where Matt just left Malkin in because you didn't know when he was going to play or not. I knew Crosby was out, so I was able to put in another forward. At least he got a little bit of stats. That's what I'm trying to say. So Crosby's back. I almost made a trade with Matt the other day, and I put it on the board. It was extremely close to happening. Matt didn't want it. It was a tough trade on both sides. It would have been, not going to give the complete particulars on it, but it would have been pretty much Crosby, a couple waiver picks, and a couple defensemen and a goalie of his choice, really, and the not named Smith or Volkun, and Pickinen, and 2 picks, and I would have gotten back Carey Price, Marleau, and Kessler. See, the thing is, Kurt will look at it and be like, that's crazy. Even price for Crosby is crazy. Tell you what, when Crosby comes back and he starts scoring the way he was scoring last year, when we had a Thanksgiving conversation, I remember this, it's a year ago, when Crosby had like 20-something points or 20, I don't know even what it was. He had like 30 points in 15 games or 20 games. Everyone's like, I'm talking to Matt, and I'm like, Matt, I don't know if we can have Crosby allowed next year because he's so good compared to everyone else. So he's back. And I'll show Kurt that Crosby over Luke Adam is going to be the end of him. Because Kurt's already low in goals. Well, Parise is starting slow. Crosby's back. Richards is finally scoring. Teemu Selanne, 19 points in 20 games. All right. But I digress. All right, so around the league, we have Ina trying to make some deals, from what I understand. I'm not going to give her particulars, but I believe Jonas Hiller's on the block. She's looking for another goalie. I honestly, during the trade, I didn't think it was going to be a problem for her. I thought Hiller was going to be very good. Thought it was an even trade. I mean, Parise hasn't been doing well, but Hiller actually can hurt your stats, like I said before. Parise can only hurt me plus minus. Hiller can hurt you with everything. So I don't know what's going on with Hiller. He doesn't have vertigo. He does not have any of that. He's just having a rough patch. He's got to find his roots, I guess. I don't know. Got to go back to the basics. He'll be fine, I think. It's tough. The whole Ducks team is just like struggling, except Selanne. So with that, I guess Ina's looking to trade for another goalie. She's looking to give up a forward. Interesting with Ina, she's on a huge, in my opinion, and I don't know about everyone else, she's in a huge bubble. And I think trading for another goalie will help her solidify her goalie stats, and then she only has to worry about her forwards the rest of the way through. Because there's no way in hell Nugent Hopkins gets a point a game this year. There's no way Lupul scores this many points this year. There's no way Jordan Eberle does it. I'm sorry. There's no way. And part of me taking Parise was so that she didn't have an established scorer on her team. I took away Parise. It was her number one. Who was her number one forward? Catcher Kane. It was the number 2 forward. I took him because I didn't want her having. I'm fine. Play the game. Play the game with Nuge, Eberle, and all these guys. Play the game. It's fine. That's how it works. Try to trade them. I don't think you're going to be able to get anywhere near the value because they've never done it before. So you're playing a game. You have them now. It's up to you. You're front-loaded in assists. You think Carlson's going to have 80 assists this year? Probably not. Yandel's not doing that great. Yandel might be having one of those. He might have had an up year. Now he's coming down a little bit, maybe like a Duncan Keith-esque year where he puts up 45 points. Okay? That's what happens. So you traded Parise. You went to get a goalie. He's not doing well right now, but I took away an established score from you. It's part of the game. Next, what we got? Kurt's goalie situation looking okay. Doing better. James's goalie situation doing a little bit better. Ward seems he's starting to settle in a little bit. Everyone's goalies are all right. I think Adam's situation's working out well. I still think he should try to go for wins because he's not that far behind at this point. Adam's got like 11, and he might not catch a top wins guy, but you might catch some other people like Kurt because Kurt's put it in. I think Kurt's still locked in a somewhat pseudo split kind of deal. I think Halak is splitting with Elliott still. He has been playing great, and Backstrom and Harding are both playing fantastic. So, and Grease just had a great game. So Niemi might get less starts. I think Kurt is a win possibility to jump over at this point. So. Rick, I still know what you're doing with your goalies, buddy. I don't see anyone else looking. You don't want Hiller, I don't think, because Hiller's not doing too well. And you don't want to pay the price tag for Hiller because he came with a hefty price tag. He went for Parise. So that leaves Kurt, who could trade you a goalie, which I don't think he's willing to do just yet because they're all over the place. Or you could trade me for Hobby Bullen or Smith, up to you. You need to find a goalie because clearly Craig Anderson being hurt. Now you have to put in Dubnyk, which is absolutely ridiculous. Put in Bullen for Christ's sake. If you're gonna complain about the Edmonton goalies, at least put in Bulin, the starter, who's actually doing well. I don't get that personally, but that's just me. Baggers, your goalies are looking a little bit better. Rolison's like 44 years old on Tampa. I really think if the right price comes, maybe you offer someone. Maybe you try to trade Rolison, or maybe you try to trade Briz and a forward and a defenseman or something for a goalie. Maybe you match up well with Ina. Maybe you want to trade Briz and Briz and Semin for I don't even know. Wow, tough. I don't know. So other players around the league, Howie's starting to fall out, partly because of my trade with him. Sorry about that. I really didn't see Crawford having an implosion, but it's been happening as of late. We have James doing well. I still don't know why James isn't getting as many goals as he really should have, but that's I'm not complaining about that. You know, he does have Sedin, who's supposed to score more goals, and he has Kovalchuk, who's not scoring goals. He's been hurt, kinda. Heatley, it's kind of weird. So, but he has a lot of assists because he traded for Campbell, and Chara's doing well. So with that said, I'm gonna keep it relatively short this week, but I think I should put out there that I am looking to trade Javi Bulin and Gonchar, who has 14 points, because I really just need more of his. I would do Gonchar and Bulin probably for Chara or Weber. I think that would be fair because Bulin is doing very well. He's not great. He's not a top goalie. You can get him by himself. Gonchar is doing fine. It's really only the plus minus thing at this point. And I would love to do a deal like that. So James or Rick, who could really use him. I don't know, Rick, why you're being so stubborn. Who else is there, bro? You have Craig Anderson as your number 2 goalie. Or Craig Anderson is your number 1 goalie. You have Theodore as your number... What the hell is going on with your goalies? You have freaking Giroux. You have Nash. You have all these top wingers. Right? And you have Ovechkin. And you're not giving him a chance. You're behind me right now only for the fact that you have no goaltending. None. Why not take a chance at this point? Because clearly the goalies you have are not getting it done. Craig Anderson is not going to wake out of a slumber. All right, All just had a great game against Vancouver. It's Ottawa, for Christ's sake. It's like having an Islander goalie or, unfortunately, the Hurricane goalie for James. What are you doing? What is your plan? What is the plan? You need a goalie. I have a goalie. I'm not asking for too much. Gonchar, I know Weber has a high plus minus. He's got a high plus minus. But Gonchar and Bulin, for one of your defensemen or something like that, or a Bulin for a defenseman, that would not kill you because you have such great offensive forwards. That would not kill you. But your goaltending is killing you because now you're digging the hole. Kurt's climbing his way out. Every day he has to hope that his goalies have a good day, otherwise he falls back into the hole. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. Teabaggers, you the same way. I don't think you really honestly, if you honestly think Rolison comes back, that's more power to you guys. But, Casey, you're actually in the need. You don't watch these anyway. Casey, you don't even. But if you are watching this, your goalies aren't doing too well either. Varlamov's having a bad time. Luongo's hurt. You could probably use Bulin. I've been offering you Bulin and Havlat for Bobby Ryan for forever. That's not a bad deal, my man. Especially since Bobby Ryan is not on the power play line. He's not doing well. The whole Anaheim non-power play is not scoring. I mean, dude, look at your team, and you reject the trades. It's like you're on here once every day, and you just want to make sure that you have to reject my trades. Think about them first. All right. So with that said, I'm sorry that Crosby's back for you folks. I was down in goals. I was down in assists. Watch it. Okay, because now look at the lineup. Fear it. There's a lot of roster baiting going on right now. I don't need to explain that. Let me just lay out my lineup for you. Crosby, Parisi, Thornton, Richards, Solani, Yager, Havlat, Hemsky. I still have Straight, who's a minus, but he's got 11.17 games. Buffington's doing very well. And I have Gonchar. Okay, I have Hemsky on the bench or Havlat on the bench that I'm rotating in. Well, I'm trying to package with a goalie to get another forward. All right, so I mean it's something to behold. I always take pride in my forwards combos. The one thing that I'm worried about, my goalies are Mike Smith is doing extremely well, but I don't know. Okun, you're kind of worrying me a little bit. But other than that, you can't argue with the forwards. You tell me my forwards aren't the best in the league. Show me a team with the best forwards in the league. Ovechkin sucks this year. I wouldn't trade Crosby straight up for Ovechkin. I wouldn't trade Crosby for Ovechkin plus at this point. Because Ovechkin did this shit to me last year. He will get over a point a game, but he will not be the 100-point player Crosby is. All right? So, you show me an offense better than mine, and I'll show you a liar. All right? Talk to you guys later. Have a great week. I'm always up for trade talks. I'm always up for negotiations. Haven't talked to Adam in a while. So, just keep on it, I guess, boys. You know, just good luck with everything. Watch a couple of games. Penguins versus Islanders tonight. I'll be watching that intently as Crosby makes his debut against the New York Islanders. All right? Well, hopefully Neil and Malkin and Letang can ride the coattails because Crosby's going to be heading the show. All right, boys. You have a great week. All right? And 5th place right now. In a month, I'm probably going to be higher than that. All right. Talk to you guys later.